Cristal
Hi.
Cook and Daniela Doncel. This is Jasleni. I've had the pleasure of working with both Cristal and Daniela in this new book. So I will let Cristal, why don't you tell us a little bit about everything that's going on right now?
Hi. So I have been living and working in Europe for the past 9 years and doing a lot of traveling and exploring. And the past 2 years, I've done a lot more writing. And as a result, I've written a children's book series and we're getting it polished up and it's going to be in print in July and just really excited about it. So, if you love animals and incredible art and a sweet story with a lot of meaning, I think you're going to be in for a treat.
Yeah, and it's so exciting. So both of you, well, we've all been working together, but I wanted to talk to you specifically about the process of getting the book written, getting it polished, getting it out there. Daniela, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role in this
Sure.
process?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Crystal reached out to me to look for some copy editing services to really get the book cleaned up and ready for publication. So, I was pretty much on the last line of defense before things got onto the page, but I was really excited because it was my first time editing a children's book. I have experience taking classes about children's book, but it was my first time actually getting my hands on one and learning about it. And it was very fun. As a copy editor, I have lots of fun looking for grammar mistakes, cleaning everything up. I look for them automatically as I read. So, but what I really loved about this book was that I had more fun reading about the characters and making sure that the characters' voices were true to all of the speaking that goes on in the book, and making sure that things are when you first start editing, it's very easy to look for the grammar mistakes, but as you go through the book and read it over and over again, you actually start to get a feel for the characters. So then you start realizing, wait, that doesn't sound right. Let me go back and make sure that this actually pertains to this character. And so that was honestly my favorite part about the editing process for this book, for sure.
So getting to know their personalities and sort of letting them shine a little bit more.
Exactly. And a part of that is also getting to know Crystal's writing style also, because, I had to talk to her to be like, well, what do you prefer in terms of your style? Like, do you prefer, my favorite example is like the Oxford comma. Do you like using Oxford comma and such? And so as nerdy as that sounds, it's
totally nerdy.
But those are little things that, copy editors and just especially diligent readers pay attention to, because if you notice those things over and over again where there's inconsistency in those types of writing mistakes, that's something that's noticeable and takes away from the reading experience. So my whole job is just to make sure that I don't take away from the reading experience and make sure that it's a full, beautiful story. It's already a beautiful story. I just made sure that it was clean.
And Crystal, well, this has been kind of new territory for all of us, right? So Daniela, from your point of view, the first time editing a children's book, actually my first time as a designer working on a children's book. And Crystal, you've been working on this project for some time, but this feels like new arena for you too as well.
Absolutely. And I know that when you write, you write your manuscript, your story, whatever it is, and you edit and edit and edit and edit. And so Paige and I, the content editor, we edited back and forth and back and forth. And I thought, this is polished, this is nice. Hence Daniela. And she took a story that I thought was pretty good and pretty sweet and took it to a whole entire new level. And she was able to say, this particular character doesn't seem like they would speak in that particular phrase, or this particular conversation is not reading smoothly. And in this one very important section of the book where something that's important is happening with the butterfly, she's like, this isn't working. And Paige and I, the content editor, after Daniela worked on her piece, we probably put in a good 8 hours changing everything and making it even better. And so that was a whole new experience for me because I didn't know. I thought a copy editor does things like commas and hyphens. That's so much more. So it has been such a fun experience to learn all of the pieces and the illustrator, and then Jasleni's the graphic guru to take the words and the text and fit it in to make everything just incredible. So it has been so fun, hasn't it? It's just been fun.
So fun.
And I like that title, the graphic guru. I think I might pick that one in my in my resume. So Crystal, it sounds like, I feel like a lot of people, when they decide they want to write a book, it's like, oh yeah, I think I'll write a book. But once you actually get into it, there's so much work that goes into it, and so much that you don't even realize is a part of the process. What has been, the most surprising thing or the more challenging part of this process?
Oh, let's see. The surprising thing, and I don't know, it was so much surprising or challenging, but what I learned that I think is an incredible lesson is I can have an imagination to create a story. I need a team to make it come together to be a polished, beautiful product. I think so many people, or I could have just said, I'm just going to do it myself to write the story. I'm going to edit it, have a friend look it over, and I put it on Amazon. And it may sell, may not sell, but having a team of people that are really good at what they do, I think for me, that was such a valuable lesson that I learned a little bit along the way as I added new people to the team, because a book can be a good book, but a great book is going to have the edits and the little pieces that you don't notice, the tiny little graphics that we talked about, things that spend hours and hours that nobody will even notice. This, the color of a word, or the way it's italicized or not italicized, and the details make the huge difference. I think is what I really learned.
I would agree with that the magic is in the details, and the more polished that it is, the more seamless and also the most unnoticeable that it is, right? It just flows. And I think, Daniela, that's what you were talking about as well, right? Making that reader experience just really smooth.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of the goal, right? Is to make sure that you want your reader to not be looking for any mistakes or not noticing things that shouldn't be there. You want to make sure that they're focused on the content of the story, which I think in this story is very important, very valuable, because the message that Crystal puts in the story is just so, it really touches the heart. And that's what I really loved most about reading this story overall. There were some moments where I was like editing and I would get lost in the actual like content that I was like, wait, no, go back. I got to make sure I'm like actually focusing here. Because children's stories are always kind of put out as these, they're for kids, but no, actually the children's stories have a true message about life that can be very valuable to any person at any age. And I think Crystal's book really speaks to that.
And Daniela, you haven't seen the artwork, right?
I haven't. I'm very excited to.
That it really says something, that you were able to get lost in the story and to really be in it without even seeing the picture. So imagine it all coming together. So you're gonna love the artwork. Without giving too much away, because I do want you all to get this book and read it. Crystal, can you tell us a little bit about the story without any spoilers, or maybe one? I'll leave it up to you.
Gosh. Well, you may have to tell me a bit, because I'll know. It's a series, and the main characters are my animals, 2 dogs and a cat. And Hope is a caterpillar, and so Hope is a caterpillar if you don't Hope is a butterfly if you don't squish the caterpillar.
That's the title of the book.
That's the title of the book. And so of course Hope is a caterpillar, and then she's a butterfly. And it talks about there's lessons and meaning that's like an onion. So there's a layer here and a layer here and a layer here. And one of the things it's about is change and friendship and unconditional love and hardship and how to help our friends and seeing the world in a way where we can be accepting of each other and our differences.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
all right?
beautifully.
Okay.
And I have the same feeling, right, where I just want to like flip through it and show you pictures, but we're gonna wait. We're gonna save that. We're so close to releasing the book, and over the next few weeks, we're gonna be sharing new goodies. So we definitely want to look out for that. And if you're not already subscribed to Crystal's newsletter, please sign up. OperationTransformationBooks.com, so that you can be the first to get in on all the goodies. I'm wondering, do either one of you have any advice that you would give to somebody else who is looking to write a children's book? Or even advice from an editing perspective?
Well, you're thinking, Daniela, I'll go as far as coming from the writer's perspective, learn about writing. You know, writing is more than putting words to paper or telling about something. I didn't take writing in college. I took an online writing course and I read books and books about writing. And there's so much involved in writing that it will draw the reader in and paints a picture that's different than just putting words to paper. So my advice would be take the time to really learn about the writing process and edit. And the editing piece for me, the rough draft, it did not take long. The editing was hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, and I would say for the editing side of things, you know, classes are great. I wouldn't dismiss those, but if that's not accessible to you for whatever reason, one of the easiest things you can do to kind of prepare yourself to take on an editing job, or even just for fun, to kind of give it a go, is to read the genre that you are editing. You know, so when I first started taking on this job, I made sure that I pulled out as many children's books as I could to see what was essentially not necessarily the standard, but like what was common in the children's book genre in terms of what kind of punctuation was used for certain age groups and what was normal in that genre. And so exposing yourself to that genre, paying close attention to those kind of details is a really easy way to make sure that you have kind of like a solid toolbox of what is what you need in terms of editing and making sure that your copy editing is solid in any work that you do.
Mm-hmm. The biggest takeaway from both of those pieces of advice is really honor your craft by taking the time to educate yourself, whether it is through, you know, seeking a class or doing it yourself. But taking it seriously, right? There's this conception that, oh, like, oh, I'll just write a book and put it together real quickly. And sure, you can do that, but there is certainly a noticeable difference when you take the time, when you pay attention to all those details. And one thing that I really love about this book are all those special little bits of magic, all the little details that make it what it is. So I'm very excited to have it in my hands, to share it with the world, and I'm sure you are too.
Oh, absolutely.
So for anybody who wants to learn more about you, to work with either one of you, where can we find you?
I'll let Crystal go first.
So you can find me on Facebook, Operation Transformation Stories on Transformation and Instagram, and website is OperationTransformationBooks.com.
And Crystal, in addition to your books, what else can they expect in your website? And tell us a little bit about your services and what you're sort of stepping into right now.
So for the last 20 years, I've been a licensed clinical social worker working overseas. I work with adolescents, families, adults. So I will be providing online telehealth services. I'm relocating from Germany back to the States in another month. And I'll be doing workshops, retreats. If there's a team that someone wants to come in and do some personality profiles and team building activities, I do that.
Yeah,
I have a blog. I think I covered it.
Yeah, and I would also, I happen to have the inside scoop, having worked on your website. So I'll just add to that, that's what's going on right now. But please sign up for the newsletter and just stay in touch, because there's certainly going to be more as you keep evolving and keep exploring new things that you want to pursue. I mean, this book feels like just the beginning of what is going to be a really exciting chapter.
Thank you.
Yeah. Daniela, where can we find you?
Oh man. So the easiest way to find me right now is through my author page. So if you look up Daniela Sylme, Sylmae, DanielaSylme.com being the website, you'll find my journey as an author to become a fantasy author there, but I'm hoping to branch off soon with Story Scroll Services, which will be offering editing services and hopefully more in the future. We're still in the baby seed sprout stages of everything, but I'm hoping to offer these services to any authors that are looking to clean up their work and present it to the world.
And I'll just add that it may be a seed on your website, but you're already doing this and you're already amazing at it. So
Thank you.
So anybody who is looking for this type of support, now you know where to find these amazing ladies. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and chatting about the book. And I can't wait to see it all come together.
I'm so excited for you, Crystal. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank the both of you. I mean, I couldn't have done it without everybody, that's for sure.
All right, ladies, until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.